Hi friend. This is FRANZTERIOUS. And welcome to my YouTube channel. If you are always fear and feeling weak, then you must finish this video. Today's video, we're going to learn on how to be more fearless. I know we all have fear, it's an emotion that's as normal as breathing. The problem is that most people cling to their fears, and are therefore unable to move forward in their lives with necessary change. I have learned a lot about fear in my life as a professional musician. And I've learned that the only difference between people who achieve greatness and those who do not is that the former ditched their fear. Many of the methods I have used to prepare for huge performances have helped me to conquer fear in other areas of life. Here's how you can start overcoming fear. First, be aware of fear in your life. Before you can begin overcoming fear, you have to admit that you have it. Perhaps fear is your normal state of being, and that is quite a bit to overcome all at once. Write down some aspects of your life where have fear. Getting them down on paper is important, because trying to simply think them through never works. Second, stare at fearless people. Fill your brain with images of what you want your future self to look like. Connect with as many role models as you can, whether in person, through a book, or online. Use these examples as an energy source to combat your fear. Third, be willing to look stupid. Remember, Wayne Gretzky fell on his tail a ton, and Itzhak Perlman has had horrible performances. Once you are willing to risk the emotional pain of making mistakes, you will shed more fear than you ever imagined. Know that making mistakes will help you obtain information you use to create the correct behaviors. And that everyone who has ever done something great has failed more than once. Next is, adopt a mindset of gratitude. Whenever you feel fear, try to feel grateful instead. I have been performing a lot of solos recently, and it is scary. Instead of freaking out, I have decided to be grateful for the opportunity to communicate musically with so many people. And I know that they are there to genuinely listen to me play and root me on. Next, embrace struggle. Most of us instinctively avoid struggle, because it feels like failure, and that scares us, but the term, no pain, no gain, holds true. To develop our skills, it is a necessity that we struggle, so we must embrace it. Once we struggle, fear slowly disintegrates. Next is, understand the mechanics of fear. Fearless people recognize that fear is a complex experience made up of interactive physical, emotional, and mental components. They know that fear goes beyond feelings of worry and dread, and that their own thoughts can exacerbate their fears by making things seem scarier than they really are. They understand that their own actions can determine the degree of impact fear will have on their lives. Next, use visualization. Imagine yourself in a scary situation without fear. Watch people do things fearlessly that would normally freak you out. Visualize yourself as that person. Create a very clear picture of fearlessness in your mind. Next, put things in perspective. Putting your negative thoughts in perspective is a huge way to overcome fear. In the grand scheme of life, why are you afraid? While you are freaking out about something, life is moving on without you. Sometimes it's helpful to remember this. Next is, release control. Of course we want to be in control, but when we relinquish it we tend to free ourselves up. Allow yourself to make mistakes, after all, that's where learning and growth really happens. We learn from our failures, but to fail we need to release control. Next is, have a positive impact. Be aware of how you're influencing people. Your network has their ears and eyes open. So always keep in mind the way you can impact the real world. Making others feel good is one of the best ways to boost your own happiness. Next, overprepare without overreacting. Fearless people don't spend time worrying about the worst-case scenario, they prepare for it. They make a plan, and they have a backup plan. They overprepare without overreacting, obsessing, or ruminating. In Chapman University survey, that more than 50% of respondents stated that they were very afraid they would experience a natural or man-made disaster in their lifetime. And 86% believed that preparing ahead of time would increase their odds of survival significantly. Yet, only 1 in 4 had actually made any efforts to prepare for such an event. Imagine how much more scared those 3 out of 4 people will be when the Weather Channel outlines the path of a powerful hurricane. Next is, take action despite their fear, not because of it. Ultimately, what determines the outcomes you achieve in life are the actions you do or do not take. And fear will interfere. Fear-engineered actions range from tackling what scares you head-on to working through it despite your fear. Fearless people strategize. They plan and evaluate their actions. They know when to push forward and when to pull back. They know what risks are worth taking and which ones they should avoid. And when things get out of hand. And the last is daydream. When fear comes up, one of the first thoughts that pop into our head is probably all of the bad things and obstacles you might face. But you have to retrain the way you think. Focus on how great life will be once you do it. The satisfaction you will feel by starting your own business. The free time you will have with your family by taking a less demanding job. The freedom you will feel after selling all of your things and living in a tiny house in the middle of woods. It will all be worth it. Overcoming fear requires a growth mindset, an attitude that we can grow and change if we choose. Nothing is locked in forever, we can change. It takes time and practice. Hopefully the tips above will help you begin your journey to ditch fear. Hey friend. Thank you for watching. Be sure to hit subscribe and notification bell button. Because more incredible content is on the way.